Hello and welcome back to the Mana Curve, where today, if you can't tell, we're going to check out this Deck Builder's Toolkit, which I actually bought a while back, probably about 3 months ago, just because I was curious about it. And so I finally decided, like, hey, let's open this up, let's see what it does, and we'll kind of review it and see how it is for new players, because, I mean, from what it says, it's Toolkit, and it in the back, if you're looking at it, it has a Deck Builder's Guide, which is... it shouldn't be a really bad thing for new players because, you know, who doesn't like anything that guides them wherever they want to go, especially if they're new. But, I mean, just looking at overall, you know, if you start a review, it's in a package. On back, again, you know, it has the Deck Builder's Guide, 4 15 card booster packs from recent sets. So I'm guessing they are not all coming from Theros Beyond Death set. If it's just from recent sets. It comes with 100 basic lands, 125 cards from, again, recent sets, so it's probably not set specific, and a reusable card storage box, which, I mean, all in all, who doesn't need another box? Especially a reusable box. But on this, right now, as of August 9th, 2020, this is like $19 on eBay, but I was at Barnes & Noble's not long ago, and this was actually $30, which is what I think I paid for it at Target, out of all places. I was like, hey, look, this looks interesting. Let's see what's in it. And so, of course, it ends up in the cart. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what's actually in here. And remember, I'm pack challenged, so this may take an hour or two, unless I can find something sharp. And not hit the camera. Okay, thankfully it wasn't thick plastic. Okay, so box, sleeve, I guess. Which is, I guess it's good if, to be honest, I don't throw those away because if I'm carrying a whole bunch of cards in it, it's going to hold this box shut. So the Deck Builder's Guide. Let's see. This Deck Builder's Toolkit is... well, might help if I can see that too. Somewhat. This Deck Builder's Toolkit is designed to give you everything you need to get started building your own Magic decks. Here's what's inside. 125 cards. You know, yeah, we already read all that. 100 basic land cards, 20 of each color. So again, that's really not bad. Building a deck to the basics, getting ready. Your deck must have at least 60. Choose 1 or 2 colors. Yeah, basic stuff. Tells you what red, green. All right, yeah, there's the blue and black. All right, sorry. Yeah, hey, pages stick together. White. Okay, so it should be all colors, because for a second there I was looking at the red and green, and I'm like, is that all that comes in here? Building around synergy, so let's see. Knights of the Realm, Stancer, don't need any lore. Just using your favorite colors or cards as a starting point. Many players enjoy building decks around combinations of cards that work particularly well together. Here are a couple of examples, and it's really small. So, vulnerable knight dies, put a +1/+1 counter on another knight, which this other knight in here, if you can't tell, ish. I need to refocus those Monday. It's an Inspiring Veteran, which is also a knight, which other knights get +1/+1. So if that dies, it boosts that, and then also boost other knights. And get more cards to build a wider variety of decks with booster packs available anywhere Magic's sold. So, not gonna lie, that it's not really a selling point for me. So, I mean, I like books, but all right. So here's your box. Other boxes I've seen are kind of, you know, have a little sleeve, so at least this locks them together. And cardboard. Alright, I guess here's your packs. So one from Theros, one from Throne of Eldraine, Corset 2020, and War of the Spark. So this being a Theros Beyond Death, at least there's one pack in here for it. So that's a thing, and I don't know why they included this cardboard. They could have just made the box smaller. Okay, so here's lands. Okay, so I guess these are the cards that are playable, and it actually looks like this stack is bigger than this stack. But these are, I'm guessing, is your lands. So let's move those aside and at least make sure these are lands. Okay, so after OCD kicks in and you realize you need this separated, you got a whole bunch of lands, and then you got a whole bunch of slow lands, which for M20, Theros. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. Looking at the back of the box, 100 basic lands, 125 cards from recent sets. I'm gonna say that these better not be the ones that they're saying are included from different sets, because this is like, for me, you can buy these pretty much by penny, and yeah, I would not really spend money on these, to be honest. Just because I think there's better cards out there. But anywho, so they threw in a whole bunch of these, dual lands. And these should be your 120 land cards. So, pretty good amount of land. Even if you take out the dual land, stuff like that. Now let's see what they're actually giving you in here. So again, this is Beyond Theros deck, where they just said they threw a whole bunch of random stuff in. So that's Eldraine, Theros, Eldraine. Now, one thing I actually did see a lot in here is Throne of Eldraine. So I'm not going to separate these by color just yet. Let's just see if you're going to get what's on the package, which is Theros Beyond Death. Which, for me, is a really good question. Is that what you're going to get? Because that, hints at a theme, although the package says differently. Okay, so I've actually set these aside. These are the only four that are above a, uncommon or common. Now, here's what I would say. This is the box. This is a pile of Throne of Eldraine cards. This is the pile of Theros Beyond Death cards. Let's take a look. Let's be fair. Throne of Eldraine, Theros Beyond Death. I would expect more than just these two in here. And again, these are nothing but commons and uncommons. So we'll price this out. Well, we won't price these out, because if I wanted commons and uncommons. So what is this? About 275 cards, $30. This box here was $5, and it comes with 500 commons and uncommons. Price wise, unless these are worth $30, and I'm sorry, I don't I will try and include the packs in these, but if these aren't worth $30, it's already going to be a flop for me. And to be honest, I was kind of expecting more than a pile of Thrown Eldraine with a splash of Theros Beyond Death. But again, you know, the package did say from previous sets. Or, let's be frank, from previous set. So, fun times, huh? Let's throw that over there. Alright, so I will say, don't even look at either of these two piles. It's gonna be a whole bunch of random stuff that you can pull from any penny bin, is what I'm gonna say. So let's look for kind of just card play in these. Kraken's, or Serpent of Yawning Depths. 6/6 for 6. Kraken and serpents you control can't be blocked except by Kraken's Leviathan. Alright. So that's an okay card. Victory's Envoy. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Demon of Loathing. Creature, demon, flying, trample. Whenever Demon of Loathing deals combat damage to a player, put that player sacrifices a creature. It's actually not bad, but it's 7. Terror of Mount Velis. That's a 5/5 for 7. Flying double strike. Okay, that makes sense. When Terror of Mount Velis enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain double strike until end turn. It'd actually be better if that had flash. A creature is able to block Tree Shaker or Chimera. Do so when Tree Shaker dies. Draw 3 cards. That's an 8/5 for 7. That is not a good card, but I mean, on these, let's see. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be any amount of anything in these. Let me take a look here. $3-4. So that is, I would not say that is a good turnaround for $30 so far, but okay. So right now for me, the only chance you're going to have in this one, other than the fact that if you're looking for synergy and you're a new player, you got a crap ton of Throne of Eldraine cards in a Theros Beyond Death box for a deck builder's kit. So I mean, you got that, and then you got a splash again of Theros Beyond Death, and then at least these two can kind of fit in here. So let's go ahead and see what we get in the packs. And again, pack challenged. Okay, pack wise, let's see here. Again, this is just, packs are just going to be a random in here. Okay, so I like the islands. We got Heliod Sun Crowned. So that's actually not a bad card to get in those. I'm not even sure I bought him yet. Okay, so he's at least $9.50. So again, I won't include the packs really in this one because these are the products and these are what you can get randomly. But I mean, at least that's a little balance on it. Now next is the Throne of Eldraine. Okay, so alright, you got your commons, you got your uncommons. Okay. And you got a pretty swamp. And of course your token. Wildborn Preserver. This is an elf archer. 19 cents. So we'll just add that to that little pile. Next we got Corset 2020. And of course you got your randoms. Sure, this was a good set to kind of play with though. But Chandra. Okay, so and you got your pretty planes and that. We're gonna set that there. So Golos Tireless Pilgrim, that is at least $3.76, which, you know, I actually like that card. So all right, and then you got War of the Spark. So and Okay, so we'll do the foil. I actually like the Bullet Citadel. Just FYI. Because, so we're gonna do this common, or uncommon, Kaya Bane of the Dead, because it's a foil. And those you can at least sell back if you do sell back. Your opponents and permanents your opponent's control with hexproof can be targeted to spells and abilities you control as though they didn't have hexproof. So I mean, to be honest, that's very specific, and I don't see a lot of people running. Now you're looking about 5 cents for her. And then let's see, we got something I'm not going to even try and pronounce, and here's why. We'll just call this the Lost, but it's a homunculus. The Lost enters the battlefield, draw a card. If it entered from your library or was cast from your library, draw 2 cards instead. That's probably what it says. Becomes the target of a spell, shuffle in its owner's library. It's a 1/1 that costs 2 for card draw. What is this? F L. Okay, so he's 12 cents. Okay, so to complete the review of this deck builder's toolkit, so I've actually gone around this book that they arrived in, and so we'll kind of go through this together. Building a deck, the basics. Your deck must have at least 60 cards. And I really want to focus on that at least part. Because going through this book, not to say I'm disappointed that it's beyond Theros here. The rest of this is thrown Eldraine. So R80... For me, on the back of this box, 125 cards from recent sets. So this wording, it's not from recent sets. It's from a recent set and this set. So, I mean, here, I'd say this is actually misleading in my opinion. You do get your land cards. Now, I will say, with this being the Beyond Theros, deck builder's toolkit, all these are Theros lands. Granted, you only get 2 of each type, but there are 20, and then it gave you life gain lands, or dual lands, however you want to call them. Yeah, you did get your boosters, with one of them being Theros, and we opened those. So let's see. Choose one or two colors to build with at first. So already going through all these cards, if I was to add all these up for single color, you are unable to complete a 60 card deck. That there is just not enough of a single color. To be quite frank, that's all I got for Theros. 3. And that's just red. So you can play up to 4 copies. Let's be real. These Knights of Inspiring Veterans, I think, I could be wrong on this, but I don't think I am. These are the only 4 cards. So, it's a rule. It's not something they're going to have in here, but I mean, it does give you a bigger variety of cards. So that's actually a positive, that those are the only ones that are 4. Except basic lands. Typical decks have between 24 to 25 lands. Well, they give you 20 and then those bounce lands there. Or not bounce lands, but, dual lands. And actually, I don't think a typical deck does have 24 to 25 lands. I usually do 20 creatures, 20 spells, 20 lands. But, that's a different review that I did of making a pauper deck. And it had a low mana curve, so I wasn't really too worried about that. 17 to 22 creatures and 13 to 18 other spells. So that is impossible to do. Flat out, you cannot make a deck with 17. There's just not 17 creatures, even if you're adding both piles up, and there's not 13 to 18 lands, even if you're adding both piles up. Or not lands, but spells, even if you're adding, if you're adding both piles up. Sorting your cards by colors and type will make it easier to build decks. That's a fact. Which colors to choose? To be honest, that doesn't make sense. Or, it makes sense to put that in here, but you can't build a deck out of the colors anyways. Now, I did try and build with the Knights. There was not enough cards. I chose all the white and red Knights because that's what it showed here on the picture. You are short on creatures. You are short on spells. You just even throwing the entire piles together, you are short. The fairies, you're vastly short. Tips. I mean, choose one or two colors, yet you're still not making a deck. Trying to find combination of cards that have synergy to build a deck around. You can't do that out of one or two colors. You can make changes to improve your deck. But I mean, all in all, I will say, I wanted to give this a fair shot, despite, when opening it, the disappointment of it just being, to be honest, this is a Throne of Eldraine deck builder's guide, or, deck building kit. This is not a Theros Beyond Death deck builder's kit. And, look, I did go back and I did look at some reviews, and they did, before come with just a whole bunch of cards from different sets. Granted, nothing fantastic, but I mean, on this just came with 2, which I'm not including the packs. I literally cannot include the packs with what they are calling this 125 cards from recent sets, because it's 125 cards from 2 sets. This I would not literally ever spend money on again. For a new player, for a new player, I can see someone going out and buying this, but still not being able to get what you paid for out of this. I mean, you can't build a deck. You like literally you can't throw all this one color or all these two colors and build a deck. It's not gonna work. It's just quite literally. I honestly think what someone did here was, hey, we need an idea for a deck builder's toolkit. Oh, I got all these cards on my desk. Why don't we just throw those in there and charge you $30? You are getting nowhere near the amount of money spent on this when you can quite literally go to your store and buy a box of commons and uncommons for $5, and 10 to 20 lands is what, $1 or $2. So I mean, in that, if you actually want this type of experience, there's a cheaper way to do it. And to be honest, the most exciting thing about this is this box, not the cards, not the packs. It's literally the box. Even if I was going for just, hey, you're here to just play, it's literally just random stuff thrown in a box that they put a pretty hefty price tag on for what you're getting. Because the most expensive thing I got was, what is it? There's a Heliod in here somewhere. I don't think Heliod Sun Crowned. That was $10. So even including that with what they put in it, it's just not, money wise, it's not worth it. What it's saying you can do, you can't do. You can build decks out of these all you want. You're gonna have to go spend more money to actually make it conceivable. Even for just playing casual, this isn't like Friday Night Magic or anything like that. It misses the mark. So I mean, on this is a definite disappointment. At least just looking at it from my end, and I would not recommend this product. All right, that's my review on this, and y'all have a great rest of your night, day, afternoon, evening. Either way, stay safe.